How do you build a website that is going to create trust between you and your potential customers? In this video, I'm going to share with you the techniques that designers use to create trust between you and your customer. A strategy that you should consider for your website and building trust with your customers is starting with value. So the first technique that I use to build value when a customer lands on a site is by having some sort of freebie or asset that gives the user value right from the beginning of that relationship, giving them a sign up to a free course or a free webinar that kind of engages them and gives them the information that they need to know about what you offer. A second strategy that small businesses want to think about when creating trust is making sure that you're prioritizing the design and cognitive load for the user. And cognitive load essentially means not overwhelming the user when they're coming to your site. If you have a broken or sloppy interface, it immediately communicates a disregard for your customer. As a small business, you need to show up for your customer, and a good way to indicate this is through the interactions that your customer has through your website, whether that's when it's onboarding or when it's using your product or signing up for your service, buying a product or booking something. You want to make sure that every step of the way, they know that you are delivering on your promise and that they feel confident in your services and can trust that you will deliver. Another strategy that small business owners can think about for creating trust is using social proof and testimonials. We have a natural social bias to trust people that are more similar to us. For example, if you are a small skincare brand and you want your user to be able to find what product is right for them, they could filter by skin type, and they could filter by maybe acne as a concern or sensitive skin. So really enabling them to find what is actually directly relevant to them. Some design elements or UI elements really to consider when you're designing this testimonial is the name, the picture of the person, the rating that they give, and how you're surfacing that information. And then how are you thinking about communicating and how are you allowing the customers to actually communicate with each other? Another strategy to consider is being very transparent with your customer. One way you can do this is by not using dark patterns, which are actually quite common with design. Dark patterns are essentially tricking the user into an unintended action, like maybe throwing something into that shopping cart that they didn't actually want to buy. Dark patterns are not good for your business in the long run, although they might help you get what you wanted in that moment. The user will remember how using your website made them feel. It's important to make sure that the user feels in control when they're using your website. Another strategy to consider is that functionality is the most important and most fundamental thing that your website can have. Instead of trying to make something really fancy or making something with a lot of images, think about the most important things that your customer needs to see on that page. If you have a lot of high quality images on your site, it's going to take longer to load. And that might mean that the customer is sitting on the other end of that website waiting for a while or thinking that the website is broken. Just really focus on simplicity and maybe figure out what tools will help you make that experience even easier for you to optimize. If I had one final message that I could leave with you, it would be to get to know your customers. Being able to design for them will create trust, and trust will mean they're invested in your business, and this will lead to retention over time, which means that new customers will inevitably come to your site and enjoy your experience.